Colorado. Thanks for your patience, sir. You're a great member. Thank you.
Thanks, Chairman, Ranking Member, and of course, thank you so much to our witnesses for coming. And as the Chairman said, I am from Colorado, born and raised, big tourism state. Rocky Mountains, hunting, fishing, skiing, snowboarding, all of the different things that you can do in Colorado. Over $28 billion annually in our tourism industry. We're typically a top 10 tourist destination of the 50 states. And so making sure that we have a good tourism industry, hotels, lodging. We have some fantastic golf courses. One of my first jobs was working at a golf course, cleaning the golf carts. It's critically important to me. But unfortunately, we also know how fast, how quickly a good news story can go to being a bad news story. Colorado is unfortunately the 6th most heavily regulated state in the country right now, and it's crushing our economy. Between February of last year and February of this year, Colorado's private sector lost 14,700 jobs. This is the second largest decrease in the country. During that same time period, employment in the state's public sector, so government jobs, grew by 15,200 jobs. That's the second highest growth rate in the nation. So our public sector is struggling in Colorado. We're seeing the same thing, unfortunately, in crime statistics. I was a police officer in the Denver metro area for over 10 years. In 2011, when I started, Colorado was better than the national average for our crime rate. This year, we're the second most dangerous state in the country. Denver, 6 years ago, Denver didn't even make the top 50 most dangerous cities in the country list. And now we've seen Denver has had double the homicide rate per capita of San Francisco and is ranked the 10th most dangerous city in the country. And so my question to Ms. Maietta is, can you comment on the impact that crime statistics like these have when people are traveling in from out of state, they're looking for a hotel, they're looking for some place to stay? What's the impact that elevated crime rates like this have on your industry and the broader economy of the region?
Thank you, Congressman, for that question. Look, safety and security is our top priority for our guests and our employees. So ensuring that people feel safe when they're going to a hotel and visiting a city is important. And that's why we work really hard to create partnerships with local law enforcement, with city officials, with local government to ensure that we are dealing with those issues around safety and security together and that business is part of the solution. You've seen success stories like San Francisco where they have tackled the issues of crime and safety and homelessness together with industry. Now San Francisco, which was at the bottom of occupancy, is now rising up to becoming a top destination. So there are pathways to making sure that people know that markets are safe and that cities are safe to visit.
Does your industry have any sort of statistics around correlation or causation? You see a dip in guests and in visitors when crime gets worse. The inverse happen when crimes get better. Do you have anything like that?
I don't have that data top of mind, but I'm sure we can look and share that with your staff.
Fantastic. Moving a little bit more local in this line of questioning, what happens? We've talked nationally. What happens at the local level when a hotel or some other sort of a lodging venue closes? Can you speak on the impact that has in a local economy?
Sure, absolutely. And unfortunately, we've seen that all too well this year. Operating costs have risen 4 times faster than revenue in the last 5 years. And so what we are seeing is small businesses, which our industry is primarily made up of small businesses, simply can't afford to stay open. And so we've seen closures that impacts jobs. And that impacts the local community that relies on the hotel to create more economic flow.
So that 6th most heavily regulated economy effect in the nation and that bleeding of private sector jobs, 14,700 private sector jobs lost, that's going to have a negative impact on your industry, correct?
That's exactly right. And I think, things like the American Franchising Act, 60% of our industry is franchised. And so passage of that law, which would bring some certainty to the industry, would be most helpful.
Totally hear you there. I see my time's running short, so just appreciated your comments and the written testimony about the 199 pass-through deduction for small business and how important that is to keeping your business and our tourism economy strong. Yield back.
Thank you. Gentleman yields back. Now we'll recognize Ms. Houchin for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Chairman Bilirakis and Ranking Member Schakowsky, for holding this hearing. Thank you to our witnesses.